Hi, my name is Liam Barden. I am a junior on the men's soccer team. I'm majoring in computer science with a concentration in environmental studies, and I'm from Port Washington, New York. I was born in Japan and I lived there for 11 years. And then I moved to Hong Kong and lived there for 2. And then when I was in 8th grade, I moved to Long Island. But throughout that whole time, I played soccer. My journey to Williams was a little unexpected. I was at a recruiting camp in a college in New Hampshire, and on the way back to Long Island, my dad mentioned of a small liberal arts school in the middle of nowhere. I remember driving onto campus and saw how beautiful the campus was, and knew right away that I would enjoy being here for the next 4 years. And then I saw this field, and I knew right away that this is a place where I'd want to play. I looked more into Williams and learned more about its academic prestige, as well as the success of the men's program here, and knew that this could be a place that could help me achieve both my academic and athletic goals. So I emailed the coach right away. Something special about the men's program at Williams is the fact that we are a brotherhood. We're there for each other both on and off the field, and that's something that I didn't experience with my high school or club teams. When I was in high school, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to major, but I knew a liberal arts school like Williams would be a place where I could find my passion. I remember when I was younger, and I put that last piece on the Lego project. It was the best feeling in the world. And after working endless hours on a coding project, and finally putting down that last piece of code, and having the whole project work, it's the exact same feeling. I think every member of our team has a special connection to Cole. We cherish every moment we have, and so when we step onto Cole, we play at a whole different level.
Welcome to this presentation of Williams Athletics.
Flipped over to Teal. Teal along the baseline.
Over the left center field fence, and it's 1-0.
On the Northeast Sports Network.
Good afternoon and welcome to Cole Field in Williamstown, Massachusetts for senior day on the campus of Williams College for today's matchup between the Ephs and the Bates College Bobcats. My name is Jake Baskin. My partner is Zach Romrell. How are you doing, Zach?
It's great out here. It's beautiful weather. It's 52 degrees and sunny out. It looks like it's going to be a great matchup today.
Yeah, Bates sitting at 8-3-1 on the year. Williams 4-3-4, 2-2-2 in conference as we prepare to start the game. The Ephs in white with purple, Bates in the dark red. As we will prepare to get started in a couple minutes. The starters for both teams. For Williams, Fail, Bardong, Boardman, Oberg, Gass, Matthew, Polini, Holland, Fleischer, Fabricant, and in goal Michael Davis. Bates has Marceau, Peter, Homan, Kelleher, Kieran Bardong, Apoku, Goldfarb, Iwowo, Kovacs, Schwarzewitz, and in goal David Goodstein. The teams prepare to break the huddle. Eafs will take the opening kick. Teo Polini will do so. Waiting on the referee's whistle. Coaches are ready, players are ready, keepers are ready, and we are underway from Cole Field. Booted down by Oberg. Winning the header there was Marcel. Sent back toward midfield, headed up by Fail. Ball takes a few more heads. Down with it is Fleischer, and out of bounds. This will be a throw-in for Williams. Failed the throw-in. Short to Fleischer, back to Fail, and this one rolls out. Marceau to throw in for Bates. 40 seconds gone by in half number 1. Sent in by Gass, but too far ahead of Polini. Peter back, intercepted by Boardman. Here comes Gass. Gass leaves it off for Fleischer. Fleischer sends it in for Polini, but it is cleared. Back to Boardman. Boardman over to his right. Some contact there and a Bates player down. Up comes Opoku. Opoku on the left side, doubles back. Runs into some traffic. Sends it back toward midfield. And it is Marceau. Marceau had it taken away by Boardman. Fail crosses, and it goes to Fleischer. Fleischer, nice move. Across midfield, off ahead, and back to Marceau. On goal with it is Goodstein. McCursey, number 14. Back to Peter. Peter has some room, passes it up. Looking for a man, but getting there first was Matthew. Matthew in his own corner. Launches it down for Fleischer. Fleischer up ahead, trying to find Polini. Polini runs into double coverage, spins back, launched in, off the head of Gass, but not enough room, and that one goes out.
That was a great cross there by Fleischer.
Goodstein on the goal kick now. A junior out of Bethesda, Maryland, right outside of Washington, D.C. The Eafs take it away. Goes for Gass. Gass beats Marceau. Gass cutting in on the left. Gass against McCursey. Cutting in. Gass throws it back. Boardman. Boardman sends it into the box, headed up off of Homan. Looking for Polini. It is on goal, and Goodstein will dive on it. Late chance by Polini there, but nothing doing, and we remain scoreless 4 minutes into this one. Goodstein moving everyone ahead. The punt across midfield, headed by Boardman over to Gass. Fleischer leads ahead Oberg. Oberg sends it down. Goodstein will be the only one there. Plays it with his feet. And scoops it up, rolls it over to Kovacs. Kovacs to Peter. Peter launches it down on the feet of Barden. Barden, number 7, lifts it over goal and out. Goal kick coming. First one of the day for Michael Davis, freshman from Chicago. Wearing 00. Just over 5 minutes gone by in this first half, waiting on the first goal. Back with it is Marceau, sends it ahead. Toward the sideline and out, last touch by Fleischer, throw-in coming for Marceau and the Bobcats. Hops over to Barden. Taken away by Schwarzewitz. Looking for a Poku, and that is intercepted. Fleischer looking for Polini again, but getting there first was Peter. Peter to a Poku. Poku cuts back on his own end. Holland trying to fight off Schwarzewitz. And sends it out. Thrown for the Eves. Barden for Williams. For Holland. Off the head of Polini, and this one will go back to where Marceau can get it. Marceau back on goal, Goodstein. Looking for Kieran Barden, but instead sends that one toward the sideline and out. Failed to throw in. Crossing for Boardman. Over toward the right side, Fabricant. Had it taken away as Apoku launches that one toward the sideline, but not out. Back to Fabricant. And lost it out of bounds. Williams to throw in. Kept in. Looking for Fabricant. Had it blocked by Homan. And another throw-in coming for the Eves. About 8 minutes into this one, shots 1-0 in favor of Williams. No score yet. Long throw-in. Bounces up in the air. Kieran Barden comes down with it for a second, and now he's still on it. To McCursey. Headed by Holland, back toward midfield. Plays it for McCursey. Deflected. Back it goes to Marceau, and too far for him and out. Williams with a chance on this throw-in here. Gass gets it from Fail, gives back to Fail. Fail launches it into the box, looking for Fabricant. Couldn't get the header on it. McCursey for Bates. Poku taps it back. Goldfarb. Off of a Wowo and rolls out. Foul called there against McCursey. Oberg on the free kick just ahead of midfield. Low kick for Fabricant. Inside the 18. Cross finds no one. Owowo tiptoeing the sideline, and the ball went out. Too strong of a touch by Owowo there. And Williams tried to work it in too quickly. Fail on the throw-in for the Eves. Back it goes to Liam Bardong. Bardog sends it in and past the goal line and out. Goal kick coming for Goodstein as the first sub of the day is made. Bobby Dahl for Bates in place of McCursey. Short kick locates Kovacs. Goodstein has to chase after that ahead of Fabricant toward the sideline. Goldfarb. Up from Peter toward midfield for Schwarzewitz. Tackled away by Bardong. Boardman sends it up for Fleischer. Fleischer had it deflected by Homan. Back for Fail. Fleischer on it, short pass. Here's Boardman. Boardman just outside the box. Left the ball behind him. Dahl, who just checked in. Dahl cutting in. Bumped off the ball by Oberg, and Oberg took it away.
Some contact there. Polini on the ground.
Sent in toward the box. Ball hopped up in the air. Winning that header was Fabricant. Now it's Dahl for Bates. Dahl cutting in. Owowo. Owowo sent back. Marceau had it hop behind him for Kovacs. Kovacs works it around the back line to Peter. Peter up for Holman. Holman looking back for Peter. Bates has not completely been on target with all their passes today. Oberg. And here is Fleischer for Williams. On the sideline and out. Throw in coming. Looks like it'll be Bates to throw in. 32 minutes left in the first half here. No score. Shots remain 1-0 in favor of Williams. Fabricant back. Right on the feet of Peter. Kovacs brings it ahead. Down for Opoku. On the right side, Dahl. Dahl chips it for Owowo. Owowo trying to fight off Bardong. Owowo launches it in, took a deflection, and Williams in possession. Fleischer, touch pass. Up ahead from Boardman to Polini. Oberg on it. Oberg looking in. Header by Kovacs. Sent over to Dahl from Homan. Dahl tiptoeing up the right side. Cuts back toward the middle. Retreats. Marceau. Fabricant. Took too strong of a touch, and now it's Goldfarb for Goodstein. Toward the sideline now, throw-in coming.
Great effort from Polini there, forcing the ball out of bounds.
That's right, force Goodstein to panic and chip it out. 15 minutes gone by in this first half. Waiting on the first goal, Williams has controlled the majority of possession thus far. Headed, bouncer on goal, and scooped up by Goodstein off the chance from Boardman. Easy save for Goodstein. Tops down for Holland. Opoku. Bardong up with it. And sent out of bounds by Matthew. Wind really picking up here in the first half, at least from our broadcast position. Goldfarb to throw in. Opoku chips it for Awowo. Awowo against Bardong. Awowo through the legs and toward goal, and Davis will scoop it up. Good chance for Awowo, but no one was there to finish it off. Davis rolls it. Pass is taken away. Schwarzewitz for Opoku. Inside the box. Davis is there with his feet. He will start the offense for the Eafs. Contact made, and Bardong comes up with the ball. Bardong gets it back from Marceau. Marceau from Homan, looking for Schwarzewitz, too strong of a touch. And Boardman, back for Fail. Oberg now. Schwarzewitz on the ball. Bardong launches it down. Here's Blaise Marceau, one of the captains. Off the head of Awowo and out. Correction. Fail won that header, so Bates will throw in.
Wind dying down a little bit.
Yep. Awowo. Working it back, Liam Bardong has to beat the sideline and the goal line rather, and he cannot. And this will be the first corner kick of the day. Bates with a chance to open the scoring.
Dahl with the corner kick.
Bobby Dahl, the freshman, trying to give Bates the lead here. Launches it in. Header missed everyone, goes toward the end line and out. And this will be another corner. From the left side this time. Kieran Bardong going to get the ball. Bardong launches it in. Tapped. Marceau had it deflected away. Still in the box, sent toward goal, and a tough save made there by Michael Davis. Off of Opoku.
Great effort by Davis, extending his arm, blocking that ball.
As Awowo can't beat the sideline, or the goal line. I'll work on that. Davis on the goal kick after his first save of the day, and a very good one. Not the biggest goalie at 5'11", but using every inch of his frame to deflect that one away. Gas can't keep the sideline. Dahl. Chased by Oberg. Dahl spins back for Barden. Short pass for Schwarzewitz. Schwarzewitz into the box, had it blocked. Schwarzewitz again. This one blocked this time by Barden. Up in the air off of Fabricant.
Nice deflection by Gas.
Looking for Felito. Felito just checked in. Felito working around Kovacs. As both fall. And a free kick coming up. Looks like it will be Bates's. For the scoreboard, the shot's 3-2 in favor of Bates. Still waiting on the first goal. The best chance came from Opoku a few moments ago, when his shot from the edge of the 18 just caught the left hand of Williams goalkeeper Michael Davis. Goodstein on the free kick. Back it goes. Homan. Homan for Marceau. Behind Dahl and out. Gas the pass to Boardman. Behind where his intended target was. And the Bobcats are on it. Schwarzewitz. For Opoku. Intercepted by Oberg. And a whistle, and this will give it to Williams. About halfway through this first half. 0-0 the score. Jake Baskin, Zach Romrell with you.
Matthews with the long kick.
A chance. Gas mistimed that one. Toward the corner. And letting it roll out there was Goldfarb. Goal kick coming up for the Bobcats. Most of the play outside of that one stretch a few minutes ago has been in the Bates defensive half. Here is Goodstein on the goal kick. Intercepted for Felito. Felito taken down, no call. Dahl passes it for Kieran Bardong to Marceau. Marceau for Dahl. Homan. Schwarzewitz turns back. Peter toward the sideline now. Throw in for the Eves. Cleared toward midfield to Wowo. Holland back for the Eves. For Holland. On the ground, and Kieran Bardong took it away. Another throw-in coming for Williams. Matthew to throw in. Matthew has to move back a little. Off the head of Fabricant. Peter
the head of Matthew.
Up comes Liam Bardong. Fleischer for Fabricant, back for Matthew. Matthew gets it back. Launched ahead. Fleischer looking for Fabricant. Fabricant trying to beat the goal line, can't, or just barely does. Fabricant bodied by Peter, and that one behind goal, and a goal kick is coming. Sub coming in for Williams. Looking on a number.
Looks like number 14,
Which would be Justin Adams. Here is Goodstein on the goal kick. 3 shots, 1 on goal for both teams. Chip back. Up comes Oberg. Oberg with some room. Over to his right for Adams. Ball behind him. Adams can't find his intended target. Holman for Bates. Looking down for Owowo. Owowo with speed, but Liam Bardong got there first. For Oberg. Back for Boardman. Gets it back to Oberg. Oberg around to tackle. Bardong for fail. Pass could not locate Boardman. Bobcats on the ball. Kovacs for Peter. Ahead of Felito, and this one back off of Matthew. Looking for Fleischer. Adams now. Adams cuts in, looking inside the 18. Falling on the ball there was Marceau, but he regains control. Dahl. Back to Kovacs. Kovacs up ahead, intercepted by Fail. Miss hit by Gass. Kovacs now for Peter. Peter. The pass to Goldfarb. Back it goes. Here's Peter. Ahead of everyone. Matthew for Adams. Had it deflected. Matthew on it. Chipping it into the box just outside of it. Boardman, the cross looking for Gass, but it goes out of bounds. Another sub, this time for Bates. Kimpolo Penne, number 21, checks in for Owowo.
Good scene with the goal kick.
Just under 17 minutes left in this first half. Off the head of Fleischer for Adams. Fleischer cutting in on the right side. The cross too high and out. More subs coming in on the Bates side.
Number 26, Charlie Pappas.
Pappas and Phillips are the two. Goodstein prepares to kick again. Off the head of Liam Bardong. Back to Marceau. Dahl now. Dahl for Kimpolo Penne. Chipped in by Kieran Bardong. Adams taken down, and an obvious foul call there on Goldfarb. Free kick coming. Matthew from his own half. Clock stopped at 15:38. Matthew prepares to take it.
Got some action going down by the goal.
7 inside the 18 for Williams. Hops down. And Dahl comes up with it. Dahl retreats. Back to Marceau. Marceau over to Peter. Campolo Penne took a bump from Liam Barden. Matthew. Fleischer. Looking for Felito. Oberg on it. Down under 15 minutes in half number 1. Sends it for Adams. Goldfarb on the clear. Launched down by Homan. And out. More subs coming in on both sides.
Looks like number 7, Nathan Song.
Song, and for Bates it's Cronin, 23. The throw in. Back toward midfield. Pappas. Or Phillips, rather. Looking for Cronin. Ball went behind him. Taking it as Fail.
Fail with a nice interception there.
Up for Adams. Adams on the left side trying to beat Marceau. Adams, the pass and toward the sideline and out. Last touch by Kovacs. And the throw in coming. Short throw. Fleischer in the corner. And who touched it last? It looked like Marceau, so we will have our first corner for Williams. Fleischer is there with Adams.
Win and counter. Come on, Bates.
Short corner for Adams. Adams back. Fleischer sent it in, headed back. Oberg. Inside the box, ricocheted again off of him. Phillips for Pappas.
Matthew with a
and
good hustle.
a good slide tackle there by Matthew, as Zach alluded to. Down under 13 minutes. Here's the throw-in. Campolo Penne back for Dahl. Dahl. Just outside the box. Liam Bardong on the clearing attempt. Phillips on the left side. Cuts inside the box. Running out of real estate, and scooping it up will be Davis. A whistle and a goal kick. Michael Davis made the best save of the day about 15 minutes ago, as we are about to enter the final 12 of half number 1. Marceau on the header, and a whistle as the foul called there on Adams. Marceau shaken up a bit, but he is okay. Kovacs, the freshman. Homan, the long touch. Phillips. Launched in. And the only one there is Davis on the attempt by Marceau. Davis saw it the entire way. Preparing to punt. One bounces over midfield. Holman. Holman fought off Fleischer. The pass too far ahead of any of his Bobcat teammates, and it rolls out. Throw-in coming for the Eafs, and another sub this time for Williams. Number 9, Eli Petrick. Failed to throw in. Petrick, who just checked in. Here's Kieran Barden. Back for Peter. Phillips chasing after it, but Matthew gets to it first. On the sideline, Boardman out of bounds off of Dahl. 10 minutes left in half number 1. We still remain scoreless. Last touch there by Justin Phillips. The throw-in. Fought for on the sideline, and the Bobcats come up with it. Phillips for Dahl. Dahl, the kick for Campola Penne, but Williams gets to it first. Back it goes, Boardman. Liam Barden. Taken away. Ball continues to bounce back and forth. Looking for Felito. Felito against Peter. Peter beats him to the ball and nudges it out. And this will be a goal kick. More subs here at the end of the first half. 31, Miles Guerrier for Bates out of Canton, Massachusetts. Takes the place of Marcel. Goodstein, the goal kick. Long one this time. Header won by Matthew. Looking for Felito. Felito bumped by Peter, and this one goes out. Throw-in for the Eafs, or rather for the Bobcats. Dahl to throw. 8 minutes left in half number 1. We'll do this again.
Bobby Dahl with the throw-in.
Dahl throws it long this time. And a whistle, and this will give it to the Eafs.
Matthew with the kick.
Six in the box this time. Matthew with the big right foot. Header won by Barden, and back it goes out. Bounces up in the air, another chance. Eve down in the box, and this one is cleared, so crisis averted for now for Bates. Oberg, but Pappas gets to it first. Pappas trying to beat Oberg. Launched back into the 18, looking for Adams. Adams takes the touch. Down with it is Song, and diving on it will be Goodstein. A good chance there for the Eafs.
Matthew with a nice cross to Adams.
And now Goodstein will start possession for the Bates Bobcats. On the punt. Adams can't beat it to the sideline, and the throw-in coming for Bates. Here's Kieran Barden. Sent in, but Matthew is on it. Oberg had it blocked. Campolo Penne for Cronin. Cronin to his left. Pappas on the edge of the box. Sent in by Homan. Still loose in the box, and the block there on the chance by Cronin. Toward the sideline and out. Bates with another good opportunity, but they ran into some defenders.
Bobby Dahl with the throw in. Matthew with the header.
Down it goes Song. Bumped by Peter, no call. Petrick. Up comes Boardman for Adams. Adams on the edge of the box looking for the cross. Too far. Dahl. Up from Pappas. Guerrier bumped down by Matthew. No call once again. Petrick. Petrick the Texan. Back for Boardman.
Over to Song.
On the right side, Song. Song trying to get around Dahl, but Dahl with the good defensive play and toward the sideline and out.
4 minutes left in the game, or left in the first half, still scoreless.
The wind has started to pick up again. Long throwing. And a foul called there against Felito. And a free kick coming for Bates. Down under 4 minutes. Time continues to tick down. 3.5 minutes to go. Goodstein prepares for the free kick.
Number 12, Jake Sodick, came in for Nathan Song.
Thank you. I did not notice that. Fighting for the ball, and the whistle called against Oberg as he shook off Proddy, or rather, Proddy gets the whistle called against him, so the free kick coming up for Williams. Back for Matthew. Petrick. Slide tackle there, and toward the sideline. Throw in coming, and into Petrick, working quickly inside the box. But Kovacs is on it. Kovacs looking down. Campolo Penne lifts it up ahead. Proddy. Taken away by Holland. Down to 2:10. Adams. Bardong fought him off a little bit too much, or rather this one goes against Adams. Down under 1 minute and 45 seconds. Still waiting on our first goal. Both teams have had a few chances, but Williams has controlled possession for the most part. Petrick. Here's Boardman. Boardman chased by Cronin. Boardman running into traffic behind Adams. Boardman ahead of Kovacs. Good individual effort by Boardman as this one is sent toward the sideline. Fail will leave the throw in to Filito. Down in the final minute of play here in the first half. A goal here would be big. Header won by Peter. Cronin. Down under 40 seconds. Matthew.
Matthew with the nutmeg right there.
Sodic. As we approach 30 seconds. Matthew. Looking for one final chance on this long throw-in. Everybody up. 17 seconds. Header won by Filito toward goal, and it deflects wide. Down to 8 seconds. Adams chased after by Guerrier, working quickly, and this one out. And that will run out time on the first half before Boardman can kick. So 0-0 the score after one. We will be back for the final 45 minutes, but before that, anything you would suggest for Williams to work on in the second half, Zach?
Williams has maintained possession very, very well. They just need to capitalize on their opportunities. They've had a lot of good crosses that's resulted in headers that haven't been put on cage. If they could put those on cage, they could hopefully take advantage in this game.
We'll be right back in 15 minutes from the Northeast Sports Network. Once again, the score at halftime, 0-0 between Williams and Bates.
Hi, I'm Shaun Dory. I'm a junior on the men's varsity soccer team here at Williams. I'm a chemistry major with an environmental studies concentration, and I'm from Troy, New York. So I was pretty set on majoring in chemistry coming into Williams. After being encouraged to take a class in environmental studies, I became more aware of the interplay between chemistry and the natural world, and that became my main area of study focus for hopefully the rest of my career and my years here at Williams. After my freshman year, I was trying to figure out things to do over the summer, and it came to my knowledge that there were a lot of great research opportunities on campus. I decided to participate in the environmental analysis lab, doing research with them over the summer. It was a really great experience. I met a lot of great people in the department. I had a great experience with the faculty there, with like David DeChair, Jay Rosella, and we did a lot of great work with the community. So we were working a lot in the Spruces, which was an area affected by flooding during Hurricane Irene, and we were looking at soil levels and possible contamination with heavy metals and how that might affect community agriculture. This past summer, I applied for a grant through the Center for Environmental Studies, which gave me an opportunity to travel to Tupper Lake this summer in the Adirondacks and work through the Natural History Museum of the Adirondacks, and working really closely with their Youth Climate Initiative. My job was to work a lot with these youth climate summits around the country and around the world to try and set up this platform for local youth to engage in their community local resilience. My first exposure to Williams College was coming to my brother Brandon's soccer games, who was 2 years ahead of me in school. So when I was a junior in high school, I would come to his games when he was a freshman, and I was always just blown away of the beautiful scenery in a place like Williams College, and I always kind of envied him for the chance to go to school here, and I always dreamed of one day, going to school like this. So on this cleat-trodden muddy hill behind me, it kind of has a particular significance to the team. It's the hill we walk down every afternoon on our way to practice. And it's also a hill that we use to kind of do conditioning every once in a while. One of the traditions on our team is honoring the players who came before us. And in particular, one player stands out is Matt Stauffer, who shared the field with actually our coach, Aaron Sullivan, on the championship team. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years later due to cancer. One of the traditions that we honor is before each game, we all wrap up around this rock and kind of talk about the game ahead of us, challenges, the things we need to overcome as a team to help realign our priorities and get the right mindset in the game going forward.
My name's Tobias Muller. I'm a junior from Burlington, Vermont. Chemistry major here at Williams, and I'm on the men's varsity soccer and varsity track and field team. It's kind of funny, I actually met our head coach Aaron Sullivan before I came to Williams and before he came to Williams. It was the winter of my senior year, and I was at an All-American banquet in Philadelphia, and him and I just happened to sit at the same table and ended up talking about Williams, which I was coming to in the fall. At Williams, I decided to major in chemistry, partially because it was always something that interested me as a kid. growing up and doing science experiments around my house and at my high school, and kind of feeding off of that, having my first time, really doing quote-unquote real science in the lab here was just a really great experience. Our soccer team's off to a really great start this year. I believe that we're more united as a team and we have a clear goal, in part because of conversations that the team had and a really strong collective mentality going into the summer training season. The strength of our brotherhood amongst our teammates has supported us on and off the field and led us to be in such a great position that we find ourselves now. It was only until about 2 weeks before our early decision deadline here at Williams that I got a call from our soccer coach. I decided I could do athletics, but they came secondary to my academics here at Williams. Although I believed that my athletics were secondary to my academics, I found myself going to the head track coach's office in the winter of my freshman year. Kind of before I knew it, I was on the track team running indoor and outdoor track, much like I did in high school. I joined the men's track team as a 400-meter runner, which was what I was used to doing in high school. But my sophomore year, I found myself encouraged by my coach to try the decathlon again. I'd done the decathlon a couple times in high school, but never really seriously. And after a season of training for the decathlon, I found myself quite surprised to be at nationals and actually finishing 8th as an All-American. I have to thank my mom and my dad particularly for always supporting me in my athletic and academic endeavors and just being there, helping instill some of the values in me that have helped me be a successful athlete, scholar, and person.
Hi, my name is Liam Barden. I am a junior on the men's soccer team. I'm majoring in computer science with a concentration in environmental studies, and I'm from Port Washington, New York. I was born in Japan and I lived there for 11 years. And then I moved to Hong Kong and lived there for 2. And then when I was in 8th grade, I moved to Long Island. But throughout that whole time, I played soccer. My journey to Williams was a little unexpected. I was at a recruiting camp in a college in New Hampshire, and on the way back to Long Island, my dad mentioned of a small liberal arts school in the middle of nowhere. I remember driving onto campus and saw how beautiful the campus was, and knew right away that I would enjoy being here for the next 4 years. And then I saw this field, and I knew right away that this is a place where I'd want to play. I looked more into Williams and learned more about its academic prestige, as well as the success of the men's program here, and knew that this could be a place that could help me achieve both my academic and athletic goals. So I emailed the coach right away. Something special with the men's program at Williams is the fact that we are a brotherhood. We're there for each other both on and off the field, and that's something that I didn't experience with my high school or club teams. When I was in high school, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to major, but I knew a liberal arts school like Williams would be a place where I could find my passion. I remember when I was younger, and I put that last piece on the Lego project. It was the best feeling in the world. And after working endless hours on a coding project, and finally putting down that last piece of code, and having the whole project work, it's the exact same feeling. I think every member of our team has a special connection to Cole. We cherish every moment we have, and so when we step onto Cole, we play at a whole different level.
Back here for the second half at Cole Field on the campus of Williams College. Williams nothing, Bates nothing. Shots 4 apiece. Shots on goal 2-1 Williams. Bates will start off the second half. Up in the center circle are Shorsevitz and Awowo.
It's been a well-fought battle by both teams.
Jake Baskin, Zach Romrell with you as we prepare to get started here in the second half. Waiting on the referee's whistle. Goldfarb. Up the left side, Holland comes down with it. Last touch by Awowo there, and Williams will throw in. Matthew has to move back a little. Matthew, the long throw-in, headed up by Goldfarb. Down with it is Opoku. Cutting in front of that was Polini, and sent toward the sideline and out by Peter. Ball thrown in. Fabricant had it taken away by Holman. Peter, back on goal for Goodstein. Toward midfield, headed back. Matthew against Opoku. Oberg cutting in on Shorsevitz, and Shorsevitz took it away from him. Minute and change gone by in this second half. Fleischer left it for Gass. Shorsevitz. Up down off of Kieran Barden. Awowo. Awowo trying to beat Barden. Boardman. Awowo on that header, but it went out of bounds. Failed to throw in. Awowo. Shot and well wide off the left foot of Frederick Holman. Goal kick coming for Michael Davis and the Williams Eafs. Bates came out strong in the first 2.5 minutes. Takes some bounces. Kieran Bardong. Here comes Williams. Oberg for Fabricant. Fabricant retreats. Up from Oberg. Bounces inside the box. Polini missed the header. And Goodstein comes down with it.
Great little attack there by the Eafs.
Polini and Fleischer were ahead. Opoku back, Peter. Cutting in is Shorsevitz. Shorsevitz to his left, Opoku. Opoku passes back to Shorsevitz. Shorsevitz fought by Fleischer. Marceau for Recursi. Headed by Awowo. On the left side, Goldfarb. Launches it. Header one. Loose in the box and cleared. Oberg on the clear there as this one goes toward the sideline. Kept in barely by Holman, and now this one goes out as Peter goes down on the charge by Fabricant. Peter a little slow to get up, but looks okay. So free kick coming for the Bobcats. A little under 5 minutes through half number 2.
Captain Peter's a little upset about a no call there.
Yeah, he and Holman were both arguing with the official. Up ahead, Bobby Fabricant. Too far, and Kovacs on it. Taken down there is Fabricant. And the throw-in coming for the Bobcats. Marceau will throw in. Schwarzewitz took a touch, but too strong. Holland back with it. Schwarzewitz trying to keep him off the sideline. Bounced off of Holland. And this one goes to Williams. And we'll do this again. Intercepted by Apoku. Eric Apoku. Ricocheted, and it went to Fleischer. Fleischer across midfield, trying to lead ahead Fabricant. Fabricant has room inside the box. Ran out of room there. Has to retreat. Fleischer launches it in. It took a bounce. The header toward goal and a tough save. Ball still loose. And Goodstein made the save, and this one rolls out. And we'll have a corner.
Great kick by Fleischer, giving the other guys an opportunity to head the ball in.
Yeah, no one was there for the header off the bounce, but they still got a good scoring chance out of it.
Looks like the momentum shift. Looks like Bobcats had control earlier in this quarter.
Chris Fleischer from Bethesda, Maryland, to take the corner. First corner of the day for Williams. And that one hopped behind Gas. Peter on it. Kieran Bardong against his brother. Boardman. Holman launches it down. Davis makes the move, gets there just ahead of Awolo. Didn't decide to play the ball until the last minute, but he got there.
Looks like a little contact between Davis and Awolo.
A play that could have been deadly if he made the move a little bit later. Gas. Gas against McCursey. McCursey took him down. Got the ball first, so no call. Here's McCursey. Matthew ran in front of it, but Apoku is on it. Over to Goldfarb. Goldfarb had that blocked by Boardman and out. 8.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Still waiting on the opening goal. Goldfarb on the throw-in inside the box, looking for Apoku. Boardman on the clear. Polini looking down in the direction of Fabricant. Fabricant catches up with it. Runs into some contact, has no one there to help him. And that one is out. Matthew throws in for Fleischer. Apoku took the last touch on that. Matthew will throw it in again. Headed down, and the shot by Gass missed wide. Good chance for Gass, but nothing doing, and we remain scoreless.
Great throw and head by Fabricant, leading to a good shot.
Goodstein now prepares for the goal kick. Up comes Shorsevitz. Too far for Bardong now. Fabricant hand checked. Shorsevitz comes up with it. Here's McCursey. Running in front of that was Fabricant, but he left the ball off right for Bardong. Bardong ran into double coverage, and Oberg is on it. Fleischer for Gass. Gass had it taken away. Marceau. Opoku as the ball goes back and forth. Goldfarb has room. Looking in. Owowo was on side, but Fail got to that header.
Great play by Fail. That could have been a goal opportunity right there by Owowo.
Gass is on it. Here is Oberg. Oberg looking for Polini, headed back. Gass. Gass gets it back from Fleischer. Running out of room. Took a couple blocks. Still in bounds, and they say it's out. And he points toward the corner, so another corner kick coming up for Fleischer and Williams.
Both teams getting great scoring opportunities this second half.
Yeah, much more eventful and much more back and forth than the first, at least in the opening 12 minutes. Chris Fleischer, the senior, looking to get a win on senior day, to take the corner. Punched up in the air, and coming down with it is Goodstein. Saw that the entire way and controlled it. Goodstein. Matthew lets that hop right to him. Ahead of midfield, headed by Peter. It goes to Marceau. Stepping in front of that was Fleischer. Fleischer brought down and a foul. Free kick coming for the Eves. Still in the opening 15 minutes of the second half. Here's Jules Oberg. Inside the 18, looking for the header, and it just missed Matthew. Matthew got his chance. He might not have had the room for it. And a goal kick is coming up as the first sub is made in the second half. Charlie Cronin in for Bates as Bardong checks out. Shots 8-5 in favor of Williams, 3-1 on goal. Throwing for Williams this time after the missed goal kick.
Looks like a little contact there.
Last touch there by Goldfarb as the first sub is made for Williams this half. Polini checks out, and Felito checks in. Matthew to throw. Here's a chance, and whiffing on it there was Gas. Opoku cleared. Fail. Looking in for Fabricant, but Goldfarb won the header. Cronin for the Bobcats. Fail got in front of it. Down under 30 minutes in regulation time. Boardman drew some contact as Oberg threw that one behind Will Felito.
Already way more shots in the second half in the first 15 minutes.
Both teams want that win. Bates sitting at 8-3-1, Williams 4-3-4, and I'd argue that I said this at halftime. If you looked at the records and you didn't tell me which team is which, I might have had the records reversed, given how play was in the first half, but it's more even here in the second.
Little action in the Eves defensive zone.
Free kick coming from Oberg. Just ahead of midfield. Header one. Kept in. Toward goal, and a tough save made by Goodstein right where Felito kicked the ball. Otherwise, that would have been a sure goal.
Great effort there by Greenstein.
Third save of the day for Goodstein, and the toughest one he's had to make. Foul called there against Fabricant. Subs coming in, at least one for Bates, waiting on the horn. Homan on the kick. On the edge of the box and shot over goal by a frustrated McCursey. Dahl is one of the Bates players in. I think Pappas is the other. Goal kick coming for Davis. Headed up by Felito. Pappas. Brought down by Oberg and a clear foul called. Pappas works it in quickly. McCursey looking for Cronin, winning the header there was Matthew. Cronin on it. Held up by Boardman. Matthew. Fabricant. Passes for Felito. Leaves it for Boardman. Here's Fabricant. Held up by Homan back toward the back line. Boardman. 26 minutes and counting left in regulation. Across midfield goes Barden. Dahl for Bates. Fail. Over to Boardman. Leaves it for Matthew. Oberg for Boardman. Boardman cutting in. Boardman, shot right on goal, and Goodstein was there to scoop it up.
Easy save by Goodstein there.
I don't think Boardman rather, cut in as far as he wanted to, but he was running out of room with the defense bearing down on him. Fail on it. As subs coming in. Phillips is one. And checking back in is Kieran Bardong. Bardong against Boardman. Bardong took a bump from Gass. Boardman on it for Matthew. Miss hit by Gass and out of bounds. Goldfarb has to move a little back. 24 minutes and counting. Shots 11-6 as per the scoreboard in favor of Williams, as the foul called there on Holland. Kieran Bardong to take the free kick.
Bobcats hoping for a scoring opportunity right here.
Had some in the early minutes of this half.
Some bodies down.
As this one is cleared by Holland. Up ahead, Gass. And out of bounds on the sideline. Throw in for Bates this time. About halfway through the second half. Back on goal for Goodstein.
Overall, a lot more good plays in the second half.
Goldfarb runs on it. Matthew takes it back. Fabricant running in. The pass back, looking for Boardman. It's on to Oberg. Oberg. Pass intercepted by Goldfarb. Cronin on it. Here's Bardong. Bardong looking for Dahl. Dahl able to keep it in. Gass on the header. Fail. Slide tackle there made by Kovacs. Kovacs lost it. Oberg ahead. Onside is Fabricant. Catches up with it ahead of the end line. Against Peter. Fabricant still on it. And a foul called there on Fabricant. We'll give it to Bates.
Great hustle by Fabricant there, getting to the ball and pushing.
Yeah, just ran out of room. And lost the ball in the process. 21 minutes to go. And change. Jake Baskin and Zach Romrell with you. Goal kick by Goodstein. Marceau got to that for Bardong. Marceau makes his run. Looking for Pappas. Can't find him. Now Pappas is on it. Pappas takes a spill, got back on the ball. For Marceau. Marceau has to retreat. He holds up. And Williams will have the free kick. Adams preparing to come in for Williams. As is Petrick, it looks like, and the one on the at midfield for Bates is Proddy. We will see when they choose to come in. Clock stopped with 20 minutes and 11 seconds. Campolo Penne there at midfield as well. And now the subs will be made as we enter the final 20 minutes of regulation. Cronin and Pappas out. Fabricant, after his good offensive effort, also exits for the time being. Launch down. Barden against the sideline, and this will go to the Eves. Phillips in the corner. Bobcats to throw in. As Goldfarb jogs out to make the throw. Seven in the box and or just outside it for Bates. Headed back by Liam Barden. Hopped over everyone, a chance for Kieran Barden, but that one goes high. Kieran Barden got his chance off the broken play, but got a little bit too much of that one.
Great cross by Goldfarb back there, creating a scoring opportunity for the Bates.
Peter on it against Adams. Last touch there by Matthew. Campolo Penne in the corner. Spins back around. Toward the 18, off the chest. Here's a chance. And that one rolls right on to Davis off the foot of Phillips. Phillips slipped as he shot that one. 17 and a half minutes left in regulation. Adams gets it from Felito. Intended for Petrick, but Dahl got to it first. Peter back.
Almost a great scoring opportunity back there. It looked like the Eves were out of position on defense.
Throw-in coming for Liam Goldfarb. And Dahl had the last touch on that, so now Williams will throw in the offensive zone. They'll get Matthew to do it. Matthew trying to get some distance on this throw, instead throws it short. Gets it back from Fleischer, but Matthew tripped up Dahl there. Dahl a little slow to get up, but he is okay. Back on his feet. Goldfarb on the kick. In comes Kieran Barden. Just got the last chance, had that one blocked, and it goes toward the sideline and out.
Barden with the reflection there.
Goldfarb in to throw. Only finds Petrick on that one, but this goes all the way back to Homan. Homan. Dahl now on it. Petrick got a touch. Here's Goldfarb. Toward the box in the direction of Phillips, but nothing doing. Or Prati, rather. Here's Kovacs. Kovacs back across midfield. Bardong against his brother. Here's Petrick, and Petrick and Goldfarb collided. Petrick is still down. Here's a chance for Williams. Adams. Petrick remains down. A chance for Boardman. Is cleared.
Petrick moving his legs. That's a good sign.
We finally get a whistle. So, with the player down for a while, with 14:44 left, we'll be right back from NSN.
Hi, I'm Shaun Dory. I'm a junior on the men's varsity soccer team here at Williams. I'm a chemistry major with an environmental studies concentration, and I'm from Troy, New York. So I was pretty set on majoring in chemistry coming into Williams. After being encouraged to take a class in environmental studies, I became more aware of the interplay between chemistry and the natural world, and that became my main area of study focus for hopefully the rest of my career and my years here at Williams. After my freshman year, I was trying to figure out things to do over the summer, and it came to my knowledge that there were a lot of great research opportunities on campus. I decided to participate in the environmental analysis lab, doing research with them over the summer. It was a really great experience. I met a lot of great people in the department. I had a great experience with the faculty there, with like David the Chair, Jay Rosella, and we did a lot of great work with the community. So we were working a lot in the Spruces, which was an area affected by flooding during Hurricane Irene, and we were looking at soil levels and possible contamination with heavy metals and how that might affect community agriculture. This past summer, I applied for a grant through the Center for Environmental Studies, which gave me an opportunity to travel to Tupper Lake this summer in the Adirondacks and work through the Natural History Museum of the Adirondacks, and working really closely with their Youth Climate Initiative. My job was to work a lot with these youth climate summits around the country and around the world to try and set up this platform for local youths to engage in their community local resilience. My first exposure to Williams College was coming to my brother Brandon's soccer games, who was 2 years ahead of me in school. So when I was a junior in high school, I would come to his games when he was a freshman, and I was always just blown away of the beautiful scenery in a place like Williams College, and I always kind of envied him for the chance to go to school here, and I always dreamed of one day, going to school like this. So on this cleat-trodden muddy hill behind me, it kind of has a particular significance to the team. It's the hill we walk down every afternoon on our way to practice. And it's also a hill that we use to kind of do conditioning every once in a while. One of the traditions on our team is honoring the players who came before us. And in particular, one player stands out is Matt Stauffer, who shared the field with actually our coach, Aaron Sullivan, on the championship team. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years later due to cancer. One of the traditions that we honor is before each game, we all wrap up around this rock and kind of talk about the game ahead of us, challenges, the things we need to overcome as a team to help realign our priorities and get the right mindset in the game going forward.
75 minutes away and no score after a scary moment for Eli Petrick, who had to be helped off the field. Phillips. Too far for Fleischer, as this one is sent back down in the direction of Dahl. Matthew up with it. Boardman. Miss hit. Dahl back on it. Homan. Headed back by Matthew. Fabricant. Fabricant gets it back from Polito. Fabricant into the box. Cutting to his left, rolls it in on goal, but Goodstein is there to scoop it up.
Goodstein saw that shot coming. He was in great position for easy save.
Goodstein Rolls it to Kovacs. Launch down. And Davis is there to scoop it up. Davis hands it off. Oberg sent it down. Adams on the left side, ahead of the sideline. Sliding in, there was Barden. Kovacs. Marceau into the Bates bench, and Bates to throw in. Overtime may be looming. We're down under 13 minutes without a goal. Guerrero back. Here's Peter. Peter makes the run looking for Goldfarb. Matthew stepped in front of it. Boardman now for the Eves. Eves getting their chances. Adams on the left side. Adams sends in the cross. Headed back, and a foul called there on Fabricant, as Goldfarb is a little slow to get up. And a yellow card shown to Fabricant. Fabricant's first yellow card of the year.
Fabricant clearly upset about something, yelling at one of the officials.
.12:02 left in this one. No score, shots 14-9 in favor of Williams. Goodstein on the free kick. Hops over Campolo Penne. And rolled out. Throw-in coming for Blaise Marceau. As Apoku checks into the game for the Bobcats. Goldfarb will exit. Time continues to tick down, under 11.5 minutes. Marceau throws it in back. Kovacs. Hopped over Apoku. Matthew. Oberg. And Kieran Bardong on it. Peter sends it ahead. Looking for Campolo Penne. Apoku making the run. Stepping in front of that was Oberg, and Holland toward the sideline and out. Dahl to throw in. Apoku. Back to Dahl. Dahl against Fabricant, who had to be careful there, already sitting on a yellow card. Fail. All the way down, Kovacs. Samif's got tangled. Liam Bardong off to Oberg, up for Boardman. Here's Nick Boardman making the run. Boardman looking for someone to pass to. Finds Oberg back. Behind Adams, Marceau giving chase. Up for Bardong and back. Down under 10 minutes. Working it around the back end, fail. Here's Adams. Adams gets it back from Fleischer. Adams held up by Marceau on the way in. Taken down, calling for a penalty. They don't get one. Kovacs on the sideline and out. In this part of the game, they'll only give a penalty if it's obvious. More subs made on both ends. My name is Jake Baskin. My partner is Williams lacrosse star Zach Romrell.
Haven't played a game yet. It's first year, so.
Sent in for Opoku. Opoku running out of room toward the sideline. And it is cleared. A good chance for Bates there, but nothing doing. Rolled over to Kovacs. Down to the final 8 minutes of regulation. Here comes Adams. Adams for Fleischer, gets it back. Boardman cuts toward the middle. Boardman took a few bounces, back heel, and cleared by Peter. Opoku. Awowo looking for Barden, and this one is out. 7 minutes left. A lot of pressure time here. 14-9 the shots.
A lot more energy coming from both teams' benches as we near the end of this game.
Yeah, well, both teams don't want to be out here another 20 minutes. They want to get the win now. Into the box for Prati. Prati chips it wide of goal and out. Davis on the goal kick. Here's Matthew. Sent ahead by Holman. Looking for Prati. Winning that header was Liam Barden. Down under 6 minutes. Here's Fabricant. Schwarzewitz back. Dahl finds Peter. Peter works it over to Kovacs. Making the run, Awowo. Has some teammates in the box, but Holland gets to it and clears, and we'll have a corner. Down approaching the final 5 minutes. Not trying to get ahead of ourselves, but Williams very used to overtime on the year. They've already played 5 of them. Dahl comes out to take the corner kick from the right side. A goal here will likely hold up as the winner. Headed took a glance and went out. And we'll have another corner, as the last to get to that one was Barden. From the other side, it'll be Kieran Barden, looking for bragging rights in his family today. Sends it in. Headed by Awowo. And we'll have a goal kick. A couple corners in succession, but we remain scoreless, down under 4 minutes in regulation. Williams has played 5 overtime games. 4 have resulted in ties. The other one a win at Wesleyan. Bates has played 2, a loss to Tufts, and a tie against Barden. .320 left. Fail on the throw-in just ahead of midfield. Fail will do this again. Adams throws in this time. Fail toward the Bates bench and out. Here comes Fleischer for the Eves. Trying to lead ahead Adams. Kovacs will fight him off, and a goal kick is coming. Down under 2.5 minutes left. Goodstein moving everyone ahead. Everyone bunched at midfield or in the surrounding area. Fail for Fleischer. Back for Adams. And a foul called there on Pappas. Free kick coming for Williams. Oberg sending everyone ahead. Looking for the winner. Making a run on that is McCursey. Here comes McCursey with some speed. Looking for Opoku. Back for McCursey. 1 minute and 8 seconds left and counting. Dahl as they announce the final minute. Opoku took a deflection off of Fabricant and out of bounds. Dahl will throw it in again, throws it in longer this time. Awowo tries to backheel and Holland will clear, and we'll have a corner in the final 40 seconds. This could be the last offensive chance of regulation. Time ticks down, under 30. Here's Kieran Barden. Headed away by Holland. Down to 15 seconds and a foul called. Bates has to hurry. They stopped the clock for the delay of game. 10.6 left in regulation time. And Adams gets the yellow card for the delay of game. Dahl the kick. 11 seconds to go. Bobcats looking to end it in regulation. Williams at this point looking to send it to overtime. Referee blows his whistle. Clock will start when the ball is kicked. And it just missed Kieran Barden. And that will run out time on regulation. Overtime coming up next. Williams and Bates go 90 minutes without a goal. And we will be right back from the Northeast Sports Network.
My name's Tobias Muller. I'm a junior from Burlington, Vermont, a chemistry major here at Williams, and I'm on the men's varsity soccer and varsity track and field team. It's kind of funny, I actually met our head coach, Aaron Sullivan, before I came to Williams and before he came to Williams. It was the winter of my senior year, and I was at an All-American banquet in Philadelphia, and him and I just happened to sit at the same table and ended up talking about Williams, which I was coming to in the fall. At Williams, I decided to major in chemistry, partially because it was always something that interested me as a kid, growing up and doing science experiments around my house and at my high school, and kind of feeding off of that, having my first time, really doing quote-unquote real science in the lab here was just a really great experience. Our soccer team's off to a really great start this year. I believe that we're more united as a team and we have a clear goal, in part because of conversations that the team had and a really strong collective mentality going into the summer training season. The strength of our brotherhood amongst our teammates has supported us on and off the field and led us to be in such a great position that we find ourselves now. It was only until about 2 weeks before our early decision deadline here at Williams that I got a call from our soccer coach. I decided I could do athletics, but they came secondary to my academics here at Williams. Although I believe that my athletics were secondary to my academics, I found myself going to the head track coach's office in the winter of my freshman year. Kind of before I knew it, I was on the track team running indoor and outdoor track, much like I did in high school. I joined the men's track team as a 400-meter runner, which was what I was used to doing in high school. But my sophomore year, I found myself encouraged by my coach to try the decathlon again. I'd done the decathlon a couple times in high school, but never really seriously. And after a season of training for the decathlon, I found myself quite surprised to be at nationals and actually finishing 8th as an All-American. I have to thank my mom and my dad particularly for always supporting me in my athletic and academic endeavors and just being there, helping instill some of the values in me that have helped me be a successful athlete, scholar, and person.
My dad just texted me. The Williams Cal logo looks pretty sad. Start me up at 30.
Hi, my name is Liam Barden. I am a junior on the men's soccer team. I'm majoring in computer science with a concentration in environmental studies, and I'm from Port Washington, New York. I was born in Japan and I lived there for 11 years. And then I moved to Hong Kong and lived there for 2. And then when I was in 8th grade, I moved to Long Island. But throughout that whole time, I played soccer. My journey to Williams was a little unexpected. I was at a recruiting camp in a college in New Hampshire, and on the way back to Long Island, my dad mentioned of a small liberal arts school in the middle of nowhere. I remember driving onto campus and saw how beautiful the campus was, and knew right away that I would enjoy being here for the next 4 years. And then I saw this field, and I knew right away that this is a place where I'd want to play. I looked more into Williams and learned more about its academic prestige, as well as the success of the men's program here, and knew that this could be a place that could help me achieve both my academic and athletic goals. So I emailed the coach right away. Something special with the men's program at Williams is the fact that we are a brotherhood. We're there for each other both on and off the field, and that's something that I didn't experience with my high school or club teams. When I was in high school, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to major, but I knew a liberal arts school like Williams would be a place where I could find my passion. I remember when I was younger, and I put that last piece on the Lego project. It was the best feeling in the world. And after working endless hours on a coding project, and finally putting down that last piece of code, and having the whole project work, it's the exact same feeling. I think every member of our team has a special connection to Cole. We cherish every moment we have, and so when we step onto Cole, we play at a whole different level.
Back here for the first of possibly 2 overtimes. 90 minutes without a goal. My name is Jake Baskin. Alongside me is Zach Romrell. Williams has had 3 of their last 4 games go to overtime. None have resulted in a winner. 1-0-4 on the year in overtime. Bates 0-1-1. We will see if this story is any different for Williams as they look to pull off the upset of Bates. Thank you for that. I needed that. Williams wearing white, Bates in the dark red with gray stripes. Bates to kick off. It'll be Jacob Iwowo, the 6'6" freshman, alongside Shorsevitz. Back it goes. Kovacs up for Holman. Holman for Marceau. Marceau launches ahead. Toward the sideline out, and this one will go to the Eves. Fleischer lets that one roll out. They'll throw it in. And we'll defer to Felito, who will in turn defer to Matthew. Matthew can get some distance on those throws. Looks like he will try to do that here. Inside the box, header fought for and shot over goal by Fabricant. They say it got deflected. So now a corner kick coming up in overtime. A minute and change gone by. Fleischer trying to set up the winner.
Great throw and brought back there by Matthew.
Yeah, had some real distance on it. Fabricant had his chance. Now Fleischer from the corner. Headed up over goal. Matthew got the header on that one. A little bit too high, or that was gas rather.
Bates player down on the ground.
Couple of them. Gas got his chance. And with the Bates player on the ground and 8:16 left in the first overtime, we'll be right back from NSN. Holman went down with an injury on that last play. He is being helped off the field. 1 minute and 44 seconds gone in this first overtime. Holman out of Germany with the big leg. We hope he is okay. Goodstein to kick. Goodstein has made 6 saves thus far. Back down. Polito ran into some contact from Mowowo. Marceau. Off the head of Peter. Here is Kieran Barden. Fail on it. Fail, crosses for Boardman. Boardman to the right side, Fabricant. Fabricant cutting to his left, back for Boardman. Boardman looking to send it in, chips it back. Oberg. Oberg finds Matthew. Matthew into the box, headed away. Bardon gets to it first, just hop past Oberg on the feet of Schwartzevich. Looking down for Owowo. Owowo bumped by Holland. Cuts back to his right. Outside the box, McCursey. McCursey launches it in on the ground, cleared by Holland. As Fleischer is down, but he gets up. Throw in coming for Williams. 16-11 the shots. 6-2 on goal. Free kick coming up for the Eeps. .6:15 as Oberg prepares to kick. A little ahead of midfield. Seven Eeps in the box. Ball falls short of the box. Holland launches it in, looking for a header, doesn't get one. Campolo Pennant to Owowo. Here is Schwartzevich. Schwartzevich retreats. Up for Dahl on the left side. Dahl chips it in, but Davis is there. About halfway through this first scheduled overtime. Remember, the first goal wins. Davis puts it down and kicks. Off that of Polito, and Polito brought down Campolo Penny, and the process gets called for the foul. Peter on the free kick, one of the captains for the Bates Bobcats. Hopped over Owowo. Liam Bardon in the direction of Fabricant, tied up with Dahl. Dahl comes down with the ball. Toward the sideline and out. Last touch by Matthew. As Dahl threw that one out of bounds. This will give it to Williams. Fabricant makes the run. Chased by Campolo Penne. Fabricant still on the ball. Looking for someone to pass to. Fabricant chips it in, and diving on it will be Goodstein. Good run by Fabricant there. Goodstein directing traffic. Let's go on the punt. A deep one. (18) Kovacs. And it goes out. Failed to throw in this time. Here's Awowo. For Opoku. Opoku cutting in. Back for Awowo. Sliding in there is Oberg, and a corner is coming up. Good defensive play by Oberg to avert the scoring chance. Here is Kieran Bardong. The right footer taking it from the left side. A chance to win here for the Bobcats. Headed away by Felito. Gass catches up with it. Down under 2.5 minutes. Boardman. Boardman against Marceau. Launched in by Fabricant, too far, and a goal kick.
Under 2 minutes in this first OT.
Goodstein. Waiting for his signal. Adams comes in for Williams, and Guerrier comes in for Bates. Fabricant and Awowo will exit. Adams wins that header, but it's out on the sideline. Bobby Dahl will throw in. One of 3 Mainers on this Bates roster. McCursey. McCursey over to Marceau, hop past him. 80 seconds left in the first overtime. Hopped over the head of Felito. Dahl. Here is McCursey. Looking for Marceau. Marceau had to wait up. Sends it back for Kovacs. Down to the final 50 seconds. Boardman caught up with that. As no foul called there on Capola Penne as he took down Felito. 35 seconds. Out off of fail with 30. Toward the end line, and this one rolls out. Goal kick coming with 20. It seems very likely we will have a second overtime here at Cole Field. Davis launches. Down with it is Boardman with 4 seconds. Oberg is blocked. And that is it. Second overtime coming up after nothing was doing in the first. We'll be right back from NSN. Overtime number 2 coming up. Jake Baskin, Zach Romrell. And Williams and Bates still have not solved anything with just 10 minutes to go in this game. Bobcats in the dark red and gray. Williams in white. 100 minutes of no scoring. Kicking off will be Teo Polini. Who will defer to Chris Fleischer. Poku against the sideline, fighting with Fleischer. Dahl comes up with it. Dahl looking for a whoa-whoa, but it goes a little far for him. Holland beats him to the ball and launches it out. Throwing for Dahl. Schwarzewitz. Campolo Penne. Passes it for Opoku. Opoku just outside the box. Back for McCursey. Campolo Penne for Marceau on the right side. Marceau with some room, shot just over goal. That one was sinking, but it didn't sink enough.
He had enough space there, he could get that shot off.
I thought for sure that was going over, and then I thought, you know what, maybe that could go in. Yeah. Either way, goal kick coming from Michael Davis.
Great shot selection.
Up in the air off of Boardman. And Marceau, who just had the last chance, will throw in. Boardman up with it. Boardman looking for Polini. Polini, the soft touch, did not get to Fleischer. Back on goal, Goodstein. Pass Dahl. Opoku for Dahl. Right on to Oberg. Here comes Adams. Justin Adams cutting in, looking for the header, but Marceau beat him to it. Throw in coming for the Eeps. 16-12 the shots. In favor of the Eeps. Matthew. Taken away by Opoku. Opoku ahead of midfield. Leads ahead Kieran Bardong, who's onside. Bardong shot it on goal, but Davis was there to make the save. Davis had to move a little on the floating shot, but he corralled it. Launched in by Polini looking for Adams, but Peter won that header. Can pull a Penne to Opoku. Opoku mishandled it, got it back. Looking ahead for Iwowo. That one's out. And Williams will take possession. 6:15 and counting left in this one, the second overtime of this game. Launched in by Boardman in the direction of Adams, toward the corner. Adams at the flag, sent in to the box, hopped up in the air. They're calling for a penalty, and it looks like they might have one. 5:41 showing on the clock, and a chance to win the game here. Are they saying the foul happened in the box or not? Looks like he was pointing to the spot. So a penalty kick and a chance to win the game.
Bates coach is very upset about this call.
Jules Oberg with a chance to win. Oberg, the sophomore out of Stockholm, Sweden. This is for the win. He scores! It looked like Goodstein had it, but only for a second. The ball went in. Jules Oberg scores with 5:40 left in the second overtime, and Williams gets the 1-0 win and the upset of the Bates Bobcats. A penalty kick in the second overtime. And what a win on senior day for the Ephs. Williams improves to 5-3-4 on the year, 3-2-2 in conference. Bates falls to 8-4-1, 4-3-1 in conference. Once again, for Zach Romrell, my name is Jake Baskin, and have a good afternoon from the Northeast Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Shaun Dory. I'm a junior on the men's varsity soccer team here at Williams. I'm a chemistry major with an environmental studies concentration, and I'm from Troy, New York. So I was pretty set on majoring in chemistry coming into Williams. After being encouraged to take a class in environmental studies, I became more aware of the interplay between chemistry and the natural world, and that became my main area of study focus for hopefully the rest of my career and my years here at Williams. After my freshman year, I was trying to figure out things to do over the summer, and it came to my knowledge that there were a lot of great research opportunities on campus. I decided to participate in the environmental analysis lab, doing research with them over the summer. It was a really great experience. I met a lot of great people in the department. I had a great experience with the faculty there, with like David DeChair, Jay Rosella, and we did a lot of great work with the community. So we were working a lot in the Spruces, which was an area affected by flooding during Hurricane Irene, and we were looking at soil levels and possible contamination with heavy metals and how that might affect community agriculture. This past summer, I applied for a grant through the Center for Environmental Studies, which gave me an opportunity to travel to Tupper Lake this summer in the Adirondacks and work through the Natural History Museum of the Adirondacks, and working really closely with their Youth Climate Initiative. My job was to work a lot with these youth climate summits around the country and around the world to try and set up this platform for local youth to engage in their community local resilience. My first exposure to Williams College was coming to my brother Brandon's soccer games, who was 2 years ahead of me in school. So when I was a junior in high school, I would come to his games when he was a freshman, and I was always just blown away of the beautiful scenery in a place like Williams College, and I always kind of envied him for the chance to go to school here, and I always dreamed of one day, going to a school like this. So on this cleat-trodden muddy hill behind me, it kind of has a particular significance to the team. It's the hill we walk down every afternoon on our way to practice, but it's also a hill that we use to kind of do conditioning every once in a while. One of the traditions on our team is honoring the players who came before us, and in particular, one player stands out is Matt Stauffer, who shared the field with actually our coach Aaron Sullivan on the championship team. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years later due to cancer. One of the traditions that we honor is before each game, we all wrap up around this rock and kind of talk about the game ahead of us, challenges, the things we need to overcome as a team to help realign our priorities and get the right mindset in the game going forward.